Well, we're two human people, and we're in the car again. Oh, all our junk is in the background.
Junk in the trunk. We have junk in the trunk.
So we're going to look for quilt squares. We're both experiencing some pain today, so we're doing something where we're driving around, and if we find the quilt squares, we're gonna get out, take some pictures. Quilt trails are apparently becoming more popular in the United States, and there's just more and more popping up. So this is our first time going to look for them. We've seen them around.
Yeah, this is called a trail. This is a specific trail, like the one.
We're gonna be doing the tar and road up trail, though we're only gonna be doing part of it, not all of it. It's not really a trail like a scenic byway or a hiking trail. It's like they give you the addresses of the quilt squares and you go and find them. Okay, so we were trying to avoid people's houses in private, well, I mean in neighborhoods,
Yes.
But it's hard to tell on the map sometimes, so we just went to find our first quilt square, and it was definitely somebody's house. And it feels really awkward, and they were outside, and so we did not stop and see the quilt square.
It was their house. Like it was like back at the end of this really long road, and
yeah,
definitely very awkward.
And they were outside.
They were outside working on their.
So we did not stop and look at that quilt square, but they won't all be at people's houses. So anyway. Our first quilt square.
We drove around the block four times, maybe 5.
Well, we found it on the third one. It's actually on the corner road, like around the corner, than the road of the address. So that's why we had a hard time finding it. There it is.
Busy road, sorry for the noise.
The third quilt square was also residential. We drove by, we didn't see it, so we didn't want to turn around. I thought these were going to be, they're supposed to be like barn quilts, and they're like, you know, some civic places and downtowns and stuff, so you're seeming, I guess private residents really got in on it, but it feels weird. You can keep your address hidden, you know, and have it be private, and so people won't come. So theoretically, you should be welcome, but it just feels strange. And also, they're really hard to. We did spot the first one, but it felt really intrusive to try and get a photo of it. So we didn't even spot one this time.
This one's on a highway, kind of like a.
There's no real good place to pull off. I don't know. We're going to one that's supposed to be at a small airport, so who knows what this will hold.
At least it'll be fun.
It's interesting. It feels like a scavenger hunt. I just hope we can find some more. Yeah. All right, we found another quilt square, and it's at a small, like, executive airport. In Lewisburg?
Yes, and it's an airplane.
It's an airplane quilt square, so that's pretty neat.
It's pretty relevant for its location, wouldn't you say?
I think it's very on theme, and I love things that are on theme. But it's also raining, so let's get back to the car.
Yes.
So we found another quilt square. It's right where this gate is. There's signs about private property. So we're respecting that, but there's just a little bit of area to park and get out and take a quick photo and do a quick video. So we're doing that. We're totally gonna respect it and leave now. The quilt square is really pretty, and it's kind of like a sun star shape. We'll have pictures on our Instagram of closer up. And it's like this really old building. It's a historic, there's some sort of historic mill, but again, we're not gonna we're gonna respect the private property.
Yeah. They said there was something historic back there. But
yeah. There's like a creek or river right over here, so there's some sort of mill. But anyway, we're on a hunt for Quilt Square, so we're gonna go find more.
That was number 3?
That was the third one we found here. Okay, we found another Quilt Square. We're in
number 4?
Lost track. We're in Lewisburg. We're at a school, but I think there's also like Board of Education buildings here or something. I don't know. There's a Boys and Girls Club school bus right behind us. And there's the Quilt Square.
Right there.
The weekend is definitely a good time to do this because it would be kind of creepy to be at a school on the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean on the weekday. Anyway, it's kind of hard to get a picture of this, but it's there.
This one's kind of hidden behind the bus.
We found it.
We found it.
All right, on to the next one. We found one more Quilt Square.
Last one.
The last one we're finding today.
This one's actually broken a little bit on the top.
A little bit. It's in downtown Franklinton at an old bank building. It's on the side of a building. We were looking on the wrong side for so long. But that was a fun little afternoon excursion to go find some barn quilt squares.
Barn quilt squares.
In fact, I don't think we saw a single barn.
That's true. There wasn't a single barn here. Maybe next time.
All right.
There's a lot more of them.
Bye.
Bye.